Good evening to all of you. If you are seeing this, then this is the start of a playlist that is dedicated towards my book, Tale of Two Crimsanions. For those of you who may have missed it at the start of this year, I posted a video on New Year's talking about how I would be talking about my book a lot more this year. And I am keeping true to that word. Big time. So if you're curious on what it is that A Tale of Two Crimsanions is, allow me to kind of give you a short, brief, both history and explanation as to what it is. As for the history part, this is a series that I created literally 15 years ago under a different name. I used to call it Adventure Death. It used to be a drawing series that I did when I was in school, since I was like 10, maybe 9, so maybe about almost 16 years ago now, I don't know. Your boy originally wanted to be a video game designer. That was one of the occasional dreams that I had when I was a kid, is I wanted to make a video game about a guy called Awesome Guy, which was who the main character's name was, who had a brother named Awesome Guy 2, literally with the number 2 in his name. And they would go on these adventures where they would just fight monsters and take on the big boss, who was an 8-armed mutant man, and everything else like that. If I could find the folder, I will gladly show all of the original stuff to you all. I am on the hunt for that thing. I don't know where I put it, but I am looking because it's terrible artwork. Keep in mind, this was 16 years ago. So a lot of it is creased and redrawn on and everything else like that. But I would gladly show the original artwork to you all if you're interested. But basically, it was a lot of wacky, just little drawings here and there of these little stick figures fighting each other and things of that nature. Also a lot of copyright. I would put in characters like Mario as Awesome Guy's father, and Bowser as a main villain later on. It got pretty wild. And I had kind of postponed on even working on that after I was in 6th grade. But I never kept it out of my mind. I always had it still seeped in the back of my head. I had friends that made characters for me as well, and things of that nature. Until eventually, when I was in, I want to say 9th or possibly 10th grade, I chose to rewrite the story. Obviously, one of the biggest things that I had to change was clearly the title. I mean, Adventure Death? That would not get a lot of reads on anything at all. I also dropped the idea of it even being a video game series, because I don't think it would really do that well. I mean, maybe it's like a RPG of sorts, like a story-based RPG following specific characters instead of a custom one, but yeah. Like Final Fantasy, maybe. But, sure enough, the book series is now called A Tale of Two Crimsanions, and to give a kind of brief explanation of what that is, bear with me. Tale of Two Crimsanions follows the story of both the reincarnated Crimsanion of Light, Drayson, as well as his twin brother, the Crimsanion of Darkness, Crimson. The first book, which is currently the one I'm working on, I have multiple book ideas for this series since I've had this stuff in my head for years and years and years on what I want to do, but obviously I can't tell you guys the end without telling you the beginning. And to kind of keep it spoiler free, I'm going to just give a brief explanation of what kind of goes down in the first book. Again, spoiler free, but we follow the story of one half of some parts of the book, following the story of Drayson, his journey from being the heir to the throne to going to Earth to join a massive task force of all across the planet to, basically keep dire threats in check and things like that. Think of it as like a kind of a superhero group like the Avengers, but they're not really superhuman or anything like that. It's just a bunch of regular people. It's just that the only two people that are different are Crimson and his other brother Jensen, who used to be Awesome Guy too, and Drayson used to be Awesome Guy. They are from a different planet. They are basically aliens. They have high amounts of durability. They are practically gods walking among these normal-ass human beings, some of which are highly skilled with certain weapons, some of which are really good builders, some of which are not human at all and they're robots, and that's the only reason why they're a little bit more powerful. The other side of the story follows Crimson, who for this first book is technically the antagonist, but we get to see from his perspective as well on his story. He goes from being not the heir to being king, and we see his progressiveness. We see the progress of him changing from being this spoiled prince to being, I am the king. I have to lead my people. But there's a little bit of a threat here because there is technically a little bit of a destiny of fate that both of them are following, that they will eventually have to fight and kill one another. And neither of them wants to die or kill each other. So they kind of follow along with fate inadvertently, and they do fight, but it doesn't go the way that you think. But along with that, Crimson is joined with other royals from 2 other planets that are a part of this different galaxy. Because Crimsanions are from a different planet called Crimsania, and it's a whole different place. There's 2 other planets alongside them that are allied. At the moment, you guys can read, at the very least, the prologue, as well as the kind of, I want to say, lore of Crimsanions, over on both Wattpad as well as on AO3. Hopefully still. I heard something about AO3 shutting down. I don't know how true that is. But obviously, I can, if if it doesn't pop up on either one of those things, you guys can ask for a link and I'll drop the links in the comments or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about this story a lot. I'm going to be talking about each of the individual characters from not just book 1, but also the future books that I have planned for this series. I have at least like 6 books on my mind. I think I want to do just 6, because I think that would work out as a perfectly even number for it all. But yeah, this is gonna be a lot of stuff. I'm also gonna be doing, like, for starters, solo reading. Maybe in the future, others, like some of my mutuals here and other people, are very welcome to join me in the reading of being certain characters and everything. We'll see how that all goes. But yeah, this is gonna be a long process of the video. Also, I want to take a moment here at the end real quick. I'm not stopping other content. I don't want the I don't want the comments to get flooded with, oh, what about this series? What about that series? Are you gonna do this? Easiest answer is yes. I'm still gonna be working on other content. I just really want to be dedicated towards something that's very personal to me a little bit more this year. As I mentioned at the start, this is a little bit more personal to me. I have had this daggum thing not be worked on for the past 15 years, or at the very least the last several years of these 15 years that I've made it. I would like to work on it. Which is none of your fault. I'm just very bad at organization. So bear with me as we work on this together. If you enjoy it, I hope you do. I'm going to be putting as much of my blood, sweat, and tears into it as I possibly can. And of course, updating you all on when chapters release and things like that, so that you guys can go and read them for free. I really don't care if this ever becomes, like, maybe in the future I'll release it all at once as like hard copy books or something like that. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how that process works. I'll have to look into it. But first, obviously, a major thing, I gotta create essentially this rough draft and then eventually go and fix the rough draft, and we'll go from there. But yeah, Tale of 2 Crimsanions, everyone. Welcome to the start of me talking about it. We'll see how it goes, and like I said, bear with me. I apologize. This is gonna be a very long list of stuff to talk about.